time for a What's Up with Nora. Ooh, what's up with that? Ooh, what's up with Nora? Ooh, what's up with that?
No. Well.
Everybody, welcome back. Whoa, what is happening? What is this? I have like a Superman curl. Hang on. What is happening there? Guys, I'm trying to, there we go. Holy cannolis. Welcome back. That was weird. My hair is a little out of control today, guys. It's doing this. Well, it's better now. It was doing this weird floppy thing. Maybe I'll leave the hat off. I don't know. Maybe it finally settled down. But earlier, it was a mess. I'll probably get sick of it halfway through and put the hat back on, but that's fine. That's fine. Anyway, guys, how are you? See, it's like, I can't. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, guys, we're going to dive back into it. I had to clean my palette here in between, and so I watched a movie that I've been avoiding. I don't know. I had in my queue in Hulu for like forever. It was the A Haunting in Venice. The Monsieur Poirot mysteries. You know, Kenneth Branagh's favorite character because he has like the double mustache going on, which is, by the way, very artistic. I will chef's kiss for that mustache. I hope that's his real hair. But I mean, it was good. It was good. It was good. It's definitely was shot. Lots of jump scares for me. And it had a cast that I love. I mean, I'm never going to say no to a Tina Fey movie. So there you go. But I digress. I digress, everyone. Yesterday, if you didn't see my video from yesterday, go check that out. That's part 1. We are on part 2. And during yesterday's video, a lot of things came up where people were wondering, where is Heber? When was the last time he was seen? So I started digging into that after the video yesterday. And the information on I said I thought the last time he made a public appearance was at his son's funeral. That may still be correct, but other people tried to find him later than that. So let's dive into that and let's see what's up. So we're going to be referring here to Mike Rinder's blog, a specific post that he made back in August of 2020, so 5 years ago. So Heber Jentzsch's niece, welfare check on her uncle. Okay, so there he is. That's the thumbnail. That's a picture, obviously, from an International Association of Scientologists event, you know, where he was going to talk about all the bullshit. Okay. And Mike is advertising his fair game. Okay. So we interview one of Heber's nieces, Tammy Clark. Now, for those of you guys who missed the tiny history lesson we had yesterday, Heber is descended from Mormons, and his dad was into the multi-wives portion of Mormonism, and so he has like 40 plus siblings. Okay, there's a lot of Jentzsches out there. Okay, he's related to a lot of people in Utah. So he's got a lot of kinfolk, okay? So Tammy reached out to me and Leah as she was concerned about Heber. Many members of the rather large family had not heard from him, and she was so concerned she thought it necessary to fly from Utah to try and see him as a representative of the family. But she was fearful of Scientology and asked that we help her. Leah and I were more than happy to provide her with support and a camera crew and the aftermath that accompanied us. So they were going to make this into an episode. Okay. Unfortunately, this is one of the shows that did not make it to air for various reasons. We feel it is important to tell Tammy's courageous story, what happened when she tried to get to the Riverside County Sheriffs to help, and how Scientology fair gamed her after the fact. So let's dive in. Heber had been incarcerated in the hole at the Scientology headquarters, Golden Era Productions, also known as Gold Orient Base, there in Hemet, okay, in Riverside County, near Hemet. There had been reports that he was not in good health, and he had not been seen in public for many years. Correct. Here are some documents that are relevant to the podcast. I won't repeat the story here. It's an episode worth listening to. Mike, doing the teasers. Good job, my man. This is Good Roads, Fair Weather letter from Heber to Tammy from May 2018, 2 years earlier. Okay. Was the last communication she had with her uncle. Look, he has his own stationery, guys. Heber Carl Jentzsch. Named middle name for his father. Dear Tammy, notice the lovely typing here. Dear Tammy, I remember you letter. I did remember you letter from last November. Sorry, I am so late in responding. My 80th birthday was great. I celebrated with quite a number of my family and friends. Quite a number. I flew Richard and Sherry Baker out to Los Angeles, and we spent a couple days together. Sherry's the daughter of our oldest brother, Carl. We had a wonderful time and went to see Cirque du Soleil, as you do, and enjoyed lots of good food at the various restaurants while we reminisced about the decades. At the various restaurants, you know, the places and things and so forth. It was really nice to catch up with them. I do not know how they allowed this letter to go out. You ask if my sense of humor still persists. I could tell you many stories that fill the years of my life and the sense of humor that I continued and do continue to this day. Does any of this sound like a letter penned by a person who writing to a family member? I have led a very exciting and fulfilling life. Also, my singing and acting opened many doors for me. I have sung and performed for presidents, holy men, leaders, celebrities, and even criminals. Can't leave out the crims. I am rich in memories and in friends. I hope to write some of those years down. I spoke with Jennifer recently, the last child of your grandfather. She just had her 8th child at the age of 45. I still try and work a bit each day, even if only for a couple hours, as I feel this keeps me active in my 83rd year. Not to mention that I enjoy it immensely. He'd be 90 now, y'all. Some exciting news. We now have our own Scientology TV station. It is running 24/7, and you can hook into it at any time. It's channel 32C on DirecTV, and you can also stream it on the internet at Scientology.tv. It will answer any questions you may have. You may have had of what I devoted, but it says, yes, devoted my life to, and gives all the basic principles of my religion. Check it out and let me know your thoughts. We also recently opened a new church in Salt Lake City. You're welcome to tour it at any time. It is open for anyone. Love to you, Heber. And then they give the address of the building at Hollywood and Ivar. Now, I want you guys to take note of this signature right here. I don't have other signatures of his to compare it with, but I want to talk about the signature for a second. My pops, Harry W. Thomas, was my stepfather. He raised me since I was 10 years old and was in my life for 33 years until he passed away. He was in his 90s. He was an interesting guy, never a Scientologist, but a very interesting, worldly man that loved me very, very much. I speak of the signature because as he aged, he began to suffer what is called a TIA, trans ischemic attack, right? It's a mini stroke. It's colloquially known as a mini stroke. And as a result of those, his memory started going like really, really bad. He started experiencing dementia, and things like that. But he still wanted to be in charge. So he would write the checks. He would sign the checks later on in life because he could not write anymore. And as he became less and less able to even sign his own name, right, to recognize his own name on forms and sign them, my mom would just do the checks for the bills and things. I just set things up on auto pay. I was like, we're done with the check charade. I began to see his signature become more and more like that, just more and more illegible. Not because he had a fancy signature that was already, his handwriting was already pretty chicken scratchy, right? But it became more and more like a child trying to write. When I look at Heber's signature there, I see someone who's probably in the same condition as my pops, right? Which is sad because it's not, that's not someone who can make decisions for themselves, health-wise, personal-wise, to say, I want to see, I don't want to see, I want to go, I don't want to go. They don't know anything, their remembrance changes from moment to moment, right? Okay, so to give some context to the actions of the Riverside County Sheriff's Office, this is a video taken by some protesters outside Gold Base where the sheriff deputy says, we don't care what they do on the other side of the fence. So let's check out this video.
People have their own opinions about things. I'm just here for one reason, as to make sure everybody's safe.
I understand.
No matter who it is.
This is
That's why we
Nasty
come. We
Nathaniel.
want to make sure everything's okay. You guys aren't being detained or anything. Obviously, I would like it if you provided me with your information so I could at least say I spoke with you and say, yeah, they're not doing anything.
Well, our main thing, and I'm not saying you're going to run over there and give it to them, but the reason we don't feel comfortable is because it's Scientology, and I mean, you work, Hemet Station. I'm going to assume that you've probably been out here before.
I've actually have never.
Oh, really? That's your first time? Oh,
I'll tell you this much. Scientology has actually been very forthcoming with all the information. And I don't represent them. Neither does he.
Yeah.
But they've helped us solve a lot of crime.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting.
Very large amounts of
Yeah.
Yeah, they have all these cameras everywhere, and it's awesome. Like, we get to solve all these crimes because they turn over all that video for the people criming. Isn't that great? They're just like Batman and Robin.
And I'm actually very grateful that they're here for a lot of reasons. But whatever they want to do behind the gates, that's not my business.
Yeah.
Whatever they do behind the gates, that's not my business. I'm sorry, aren't you here to protect and serve? Aren't you here to enforce the laws? Aren't you sworn? You swore an oath?
Okay, guys. Well, we're not going to keep you in the rain any longer. So.
You guys aren't on probation or parole?
No, not on probation or parole. Nothing like that.
You guys have a good day.
All right, have a good one.
Because everyone who's on probation or parole is like, oh yeah, totally.
Is that your guys' car right there?
Yeah, it's a rental car.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure. Someone had said you guys probably parked way down. I don't want you to get hit by a car. We have had people killed on this road by walking on the road. So that's why we were here, is to make sure that when you're walking back, you didn't get hit by a car.
Oh, well, thank you.
People slow down when they see cop cars.
Oh, we appreciate that. Thanks,
right.
folks. Have a good night.
They're just here to help them, just to help them out. So helpful. But whatever goes on behind those gates, we don't care. Because they help us. They help us. That's called safe pointing. See, look at all this great stuff we give you guys. Don't worry about what's happening behind here. nothing going on behind the gates. Okay, so this is the sheriff's report documenting the welfare check they did perform on Heber without his niece Tammy present. Okay, so this is dated from June 6th, 2018. Okay, it was a welfare check. Names have been redacted. Okay, they went and saw Heber. There's his date of birth, right? Someone had already pointed out that it's November 30th. So from 1935. So he will be 90 on November 30th. Okay. Then there's like nothing else here. Lieutenant Zach Hale. There's his badge number, 2746. And here's the person who entered it into the record. Okay. Continuation page. On Monday, June 4th, at 2018 at 15:49 hours, I was dispatched to 19625 Gilman Spring Road, San Jacinto, Golden Era Productions. Like, it's like they know what it is. Regarding a check, check the welfare call. The reporting party requested I contact her uncle, Heber Jentzsch, at the above-mentioned location. According to the text of the call, it indicated the niece had not heard from Jentzsch since November 2017. So like since his birthday the year prior. His niece believed Jentzsch had suffered a stroke, believed he was not being cared for, and requested a deputy to check on him. Prior to arriving at the above-mentioned location, I attempted to contact, I guess that's the niece or somebody, via a telephone several times to obtain additional information. I received no answer. When I arrived at Golden Era Productions, I spoke to, name redacted, Golden Era's Director of Public Affairs. I advised them of the circumstances regarding Jentzsch. They told me Jentzsch had not suffered a stroke. They did not want to disclose Jentzsch's medical issue because it was a personal matter. Thank you. A transient ischemic attack. Yes. Yes. Thank you. And they told me he was not at the location and at a doctor's appointment in Hemet. I mean, like, how convenient. Just happens to be at the doctor in Hemet on the day that the cop comes to check on him. They could not provide me with the doctor's name or the address where he was being treated. I'm sorry. You just told me he's at a doctor in Hemet, but you don't know the doctor or where the doctor is? I'm sorry, what? Not suspicious. Not suspicious at all. They further explained Jentzsch was the former president of Scientology, but was now retired. Jentzsch resides at Golden Era Productions and is cared for by a full-time nurse. Well, isn't that just the sweetest? After I'd left the location, the niece requested I call her at a different number, this time at a hotel, wherever she was. I called and informed her of my findings. When I tried to obtain further information, it appeared she'd hung up the phone on me. I attempted to call a second time and requested to be transferred back to her room, but received no answer. Later in the evening, I received MDC mail from dispatch advising me to call. MDC mail indicated Jentzsch was back at the location. He came back from the doctor. But he was tired. So sleepy after the doctor appointment. At that point, I did not think it would be reasonable to contact Jentzsch due to him being tired and the lack of additional information or engagement from his niece. On June 5th, 2018, at 15:03 hours, I received a follow-up call to this matter. The niece arrived at the Hemet station to speak to me concerning Jentzsch, requested that I recontact Jentzsch, and she wanted to be present when I spoke to him. Lieutenant Hall explained that we could honor her request to check on him, but we could not escort her onto Golden Era's property because it's private. It's private. I explained to her it would end up being up to Jentzsch if he wanted her to visit with him at his home. I informed her I would attempt to recontact him and conduct a welfare check. At 15:56 hours, Lieutenant Hall and I arrived at Gulnera and contacted Jentzsch. When I contacted him, he appeared to be healthy and in good spirits. Jentzsch told me he was not close to his niece. The last time he had contact her was possibly 20 or 30 years ago. I asked Jentzsch if he wanted to speak with her, and he said no. Jentzsch explained he was retired and occasionally works to keep himself busy. Isn't that just like the letter? Why would you repeat that? Why would it be the exact wording from a letter that you typed out? Has anyone reviewed the body cam footage from this visit? Was it Heber that they met with? Was Heber rehearsed in saying these things? He is an actor. Questions. When I spoke to Jentzsch, he was aware of his surroundings and understood my questions. There was no indication Jentzsch was being held against his will, that he had a serious medical condition, or was not being cared for properly. I went back to the Hemet station and spoke with his niece. I explained that Jentzsch appeared to be healthy and he was being cared for by a full-time nurse. She told me she was informed by an unknown source that Jentzsch had suffered a stroke and was not being treated properly for his medical issues. I also explained to her that Jentzsch had just no desire to see her. I asked her when she last physically saw Jentzsch. She did not answer my question, but did say she received a letter for him a while ago. Based on my investigation, it appeared to me Jentzsch was in good health and being cared for at his home. This report is for documentation purposes and will be closed exceptional. Okay. On June 12th, about 1600s, an associate from the law office of Tuchen and Weinberger arrived at the Hemet station and requested me. I met with the law office's associate and she handed me the attached letter. This exchange occurred at the Hemet Sheriff's Station in our community room. The original attached letter was authorized and signed by Amanda R. Tuchen, counsel for Heber Jentzsch. This report supplements a check the welfare report taken on June 4th. And here is that letter. Via hand delivery. Lieutenant Zach Hall, Riverside County Sheriff's Department. Okay, there's the address there if you guys want to check it out for yourself. Okay, maybe FOIA request the body cam footage. I don't know. You know, suggestions. Reverend Heber Jentzsch. Dear Lieutenant Hall, boy, can somebody proof check this typing? Jesus Christ on a cracker. I represent Reverend Heber Jentzsch. Thank you for discussing this matter with me briefly yesterday. Reverend Jentzsch is very concerned about the circumstances that led to what we understand have been an inquiry into his welfare performed by the Riverside County Sheriff's Department on June 5th. His concern is that this welfare check was based on false and misleading information provided to the Riverside County Sheriff's Department by Miles Rife and various parties associated with him, including Leah Remini and Tammy Clark. Reverend Jentzsch believes that the actions of Mr. Rife, Miss Clark, and Miss Remini are criminal, and he intends in the near future to make a full police report and request that the Riverside County Sheriff's Department conduct a thorough investigation. Presently, Reverend Jentzsch requests that the Riverside County Sheriff's Department include the names of all individuals present at there and the statements made to the sheriff by those individuals at or around the time that the welfare check was requested. It is my understanding that on June 7th, 2018, you met with Catherine Frazier, the Director of Public Affairs for Golden Era Productions, and Muriel Dufresne, Director of Community Affairs for Golden Era Productions, both close friends and community members of Reverend Jentzsch at the Hemet Division of the Riverside County Sheriff's Department. Miss Fraser and Miss Dufresne, it must be France, stated that during their meeting, you stated the following. 1, Mr. Reif and Miss Ramini were present at the Sheriff's Department at the time the welfare check was requested. 2, Mr. Reif stated that Reverend Jentzsch had recently suffered from a stroke and was being denied medical care. Reverend Jentzsch wishes the presence of these individuals and the statements made by these individuals be included in the official report generated by the Sheriff's Department relating to the June 5th welfare check or in a supplemental report. It is our position that these statements, which alleged that Reverend Jentzsch was in need of medical care and that an individual or individuals were preventing Reverend Jentzsch from receiving this care, constituted a violation of California Penal Code sections 148.5 and 148.3. We intend to make a full report regarding this criminal activity. In the interim, however, we believe it is essential that the reports generated during the June 5th welfare check contain this critical information. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions about the above. Very truly yours. Very truly yours. Totally not a Scientologist signing off. This is a lawyer. Very truly yours. Okay. Amanda R. Tuchin, counsel for Reverend Heber Jentzsch. The welfare check was conducted with Heber's full-time nurse present at all times after the deputies were fully briefed by Catherine and Muriel, the PR people for the Gold Base. Kathy Fraser was one of the inch wives. Kathy Fraser is Mike Rinder's ex-wife, Kathy Rinder. I don't know why he doesn't say that. That's why it's so weird. It's your ex-wife. But he's talking about her as if he wasn't related to her and wasn't married to her for over 20 years and didn't have 2 kids with her. Who does? I'm sorry. This is, sir, this is your ex. Why not just say my ex-wife, Kathy, who went on Anderson Cooper and told lies about me? Like, what? What is this smoke and mirrors? She was the one that was like, I know every inch of his body. Like, I'm sorry. This is just, I'm sorry to parse hairs here, but this is nuts. Okay. Who's also been seen in various other footage from media who went to film at Gold Base, a rather unpleasant woman. Sir, you married her. You had sex with her many times and produced 2 children. Shut the fuck up. Muriel was the woman who showed up chasing down Mark Headley when he made his escape, as covered in his excellent book, Blown for Good. I get it. People don't want to claim their exes, but like, come on. Heber's full-time nurse, hang on, Amy, your question's about to get answered, is Jeanette Nettie Alcock. She is not a nurse. No, she's not an RN. She is his minder. Scientology acknowledges Heber has medical issues, but refused to disclose what they were or what doctor he was visiting or why he needed a full-time nurse. Despite these facts, the conclusion by the sheriffs was that he appeared to be in good health. Though, as you will hear from Tammy, they did not even ask him to stand up. Yeah, this is why a doctor should be with, law enforcement when they're doing these welfare checks to do a proper exam. Because, yeah. Okay, Amy, if you can find an RN license for Jeanette Nettie Alcock, you're the winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Didn't take long before Scientology had a lawyer on the job representing my client, Her letter raised even more concern. Was Heber now suffering mental deterioration as well as physical? She now claims he's never met Tammy and that she has no personal bias for requesting a welfare check. He chose to retire. Not something has ever been announced to the Scientology world. Amy, let me get it for you here. Right here. Pop, pop, pop. Right there. I'm going to put it in the chat for you. Copy it. Paste it. There we go. Oh my God. Nora, stop scrolling on the wrong thing. There we go. Okay. Yeah. This is the biggest red flag. He chose to retire, not something that was ever, still hasn't been announced, okay? To the Scientology world. In fact, there is no new president for the Church of Scientology International. And she claims that the sheriff stated this was a publicity stunt. Okay, so now here's another lawyer. Okay. Law offices of Julia Azrael over there on Lancashire. Okay. Another lawyer. Interesting. Heber's got more lawyers than I have dads. Sorry, that was a dead dad joke. That's bad. My client, Heber Jentzsch, and your client, Ramini's staged event. Okay, so this is Miss Azrael. She sounds like a sorceress. Azrael. Was that the cat's name from the Smurfs? Yes, I think it was. Okay, moving on. Dear Cam, I'm sorry, his name is Cameron Stratcher Esquire. Do you know him? Is he your boyfriend? Dear Cam? Dear Mr. Stratcher, like Jesus Christ. Yesterday, Leah and Mike and a woman claiming to be Heber's niece went to the Riverside Sheriff and demanded a welfare check of my client. At the time, Jentzsch was doing what he chooses to do in the privacy of his retirement. The invasion of Mr. Jentzsch's privacy is outrageous. For starters, the niece, a woman in her 60s, has never met Mr. Jentzsch. She is the daughter of one of Jentzsch's 41 brothers and sisters. She has had no personal basis for request a welfare check and was obviously the pawn of Romanian Rinder, a man Mr. Jentzsch personally despises. The niece made a false report. Further, Mr. Jentzsch was interrupted in the privacy he has chosen since retiring from public life in the 9th decade, where he has heard there was a camera crew outside and became very aroused, as he loves cameras. Actually, strike that. Outside the building, and was then asked to speak with 2 men. This interruption angered and upset Mr. Jentzsch. This was the 4th time. Not once, not twice, not thrice. The 4th time. He's had to deal with such reports and other groundless attempt to discredit this church and suggest he is held in a manner that endangers his mental health and physical well-being was profoundly upsetting and harassing. Finally, the Riverside Sheriff confirmed to counsel for the Church of Scientology that Mr. Jentzsch was physically well and happy where he was. He was cordial to the 2 sheriffs, as were the sheriffs cordial to him. I expect to obtain a copy of the sheriff's report of their visit. The sheriff's office told counsel for the church they believed the request was publicity stunt. After all, what other concerned niece shows up with a camera crew and Ramini and Rinder in tow? I ask you. This publicity stunt was a false report at the expense of a kind and preeminent elderly man. This act was an unconscionable invasion of Mr. Jentzsch's privacy and peace of mind, as I set out in my letter to you of February 27, 2018. Heber Jentzsch is living a private life, and the one he chooses to live, and the one he cherishes for his peace and privacy. I demand whatever footage was taken by Romanian render not air, as it can only damage Mr. Jentzsch's reputation and further invade his privacy. Finally, again, finally, for the last time, because I said finally before, but however, finally, I demand that these repeat contacts with the Riverside County Sheriff's Department cease and desist. An apology to Mr. Jentzsch is obviously in order. All rights reserved. Sincerely, Julia. I'm sorry. All of these letters do require ridiculous voices upon reading. Jamah. Like, this is how you type it in Scientology too. CC carbon copy. Heber Jentzsch. When asked to confirm, oh man, when asked to confirm, they had told Scientology that this was a publicity stunt. The sheriff's department responded, "Hello, Miles. This is not the position of the department, and we did not make the assertions to Scientology. Thank you, Leonard Purvis, Captain." Julia Azrael has not been heard from since. Azrael, abscond with me. But soon after Tammy returned to her home in Utah, Scientology did what it's prone to do. Keep proving the contributors of Scientology in the aftermath right. They do exactly the things that confirm what everyone keeps saying they do. They launched a noisy investigation and flew 2 private investigators to Tammy's home to threaten her, pursuant to Hubbard's words of wisdom about investigating noisily. Okay, so if they thought this was the fake niece, she's not the real niece. Obviously, you guys know, because we've explained this 100 times, but you have to write down the names and addresses and phone numbers of everybody in your family. The entire tree, draw it out. Give the names, addresses, and a blood type of everyone you've ever known or come in contact with for every lifetime that you can recall. Okay, so they knew, obviously, where his family was to send these private investigators directly to her. Okay. Oh, my goodness. And here's what Lafayette Ronald has to say about investigations. When we need somebody haunted, we investigate. I haven't got my Hubbard down yet. I need like, where did that one go? Did I get rid of it? I think I did. I used to have like a low voice, but I don't have it anymore. That's nothing. Yeah. That's nothing too. I'm sorry that I got rid of my low voice, my monster voice. When we investigate, we do so noisily always. And usually mere investigation damps out the trouble even when we discover no really pertinent facts. Investigation to us in Scientology is a fine art. Overt investigation of someone or something attacking us by an outside detective agency should be done more often. And hang the expense. I mean, fuck it. Fuck it. Pay him. It's very effective. Often investigation by a private detective has alone closed up an Theta source or squirrel organization. In fact, at this writing, I can't remember a time when it hasn't. The reason for this is simple. Of 21 persons found attacking Dianetics and Scientology with rumors and Theta, 18 of them under investigation were found to be members of the Communist Party or criminals, usually both. The smell of police or private detectives caused them to fly. Fly, my beauties, fly. To close down, to confess. Hire them and damn the cost when you need to. The PI they sent was Rebecca Dobkin. You can read a bit about her on Tony Ortega's blog when she went to visit Karen and Jeff. And note the name of the attorney in this piece in the letter appended to the end of the sheriff's report above. Okay. So that's the lady, Rebecca Dobkin. Okay. I asked her who she was working for. She told me she was working for Amanda Tuchin. She said that Tuchin had represented Heber Jentzsch. Heber is Karen's ex-husband, right? He's also been since the 80s the nominal president of the Church of Scientology International. I say nominal because it was always a little more than an honorary title. The real power of Grayskull to run Scientology was invested in the founder, and then after his death into the current leader, he picked up the sword of Grayskull and said, I have the power. And then, that's how he became the leader. Everyone doesn't know. That's the real secret. He-Man is basically the story of Scientology. So, yeah, now you guys know. Now you guys know. It's all about Grayskull. Okay. Oh my goodness. And so that's it. That's the story. So in 20, I'm laughing at myself now because this comb over hair is giving Mel from fucking The Ultimatum Queer Love, and I can't have that anymore. I can't. I can't. And if you haven't seen The Ultimatum Queer Love, you'll know what I'm talking about. The fucking comb over. All right. So guys, why does this all sound so familiar? Why does this sound so familiar? Well, as Tony Ortega would say, well, dear readers. I'm sorry. The obnoxious level today is off the charts. I haven't probably read that article since 2020. I don't know if I read it even then. I'll be honest with you. I had stopped reading Mike Rinder's stuff a long time ago. So I probably actually missed that one. So that was an original reading. #TM Nora Ames. Thank you. Yes. No applause. Please throw small change and dollar bills. Thank you. Yeah. Why does that sound familiar? Because that's the exact same thing that happened almost word for word when Liz Ferris went to the same place to try and talk to her dad, Bob Ferris. And for everybody out there, okay, who was like, well, he doesn't want to see her. What? Hello, deja vu, anybody? These guys can't even come up with an original story. They tried to rewrite the script, a decade ago when they told Liz, your dad's dead. Don't call here. Bye. Right? And then they fucked up when they were like, hey, you're going to pay your dad's bill? And she was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He dead. And they were like, oh, fuck. We forgot we had told you that. But also you need to pay his bill. Right? And then they're like, oh, he doesn't want to see you. He's retired and he's living his private life. Guys, it's like the same fucking thing. Go back and check the records. This is nuts. This is fucking bonker doodles, okay? They do not come up with anything new. They do not have a new fucking idea. They're doing the same stuff over and over and over again. Anytime a relative comes forward and says, hey, I'd like to see my nana, my pop-pop, my dad, my sister, my cousin, my kid. Oh, well, they are living their private life that they have chosen, and they do not wish to speak with you. Please abscond with yourself from our presence. And then they stick lawyers on people. They send the lawyers to the sheriff. I want an immediate report about the report that was reported. Now, any internet sleuths out there, did Heber actually file a report? Or did they press charges against Mike and Leah? I think not. I want to know who these sheriffs met with. And why is there no photographic evidence required for a welfare check? If I think a relative of mine is being held against their will and they're having a medical emergency, I want at least a fucking Polaroid of the person you talk to. Okay? Like, this is nuts. This is nuts. And only Scientology gets away with this. Only Scientology is doing this. Okay? Like, it is wild to me that they're still getting away with this. Okay? Which is why we're going to go back in the Wayback Machine. We're staying on this journey, guys. Part 3, we're going to keep on. I've got more Heber footage, more fantastical tales. I actually found some more from like before the verdict, at the celebration after the verdict. We get more Earl Cooley, guys. More Earl Cooley. And then we're going to go over David Miscavige's death. I'm sorry. Oh, that was a massive Freudian slip. Lafayette Ronald's death and the introduction of David Miscavige. Guys, I'm cooked. I'm cooked. That's the end of my channel. I said. Let me get to your comments and questions here. And if you're not subscribed, now's a great time to subscribe and hit that like button for me. Okay, it really does. It actually does help. I know that seems weird, but it does help the algorithms, you know, to do the thing that I needed to do, to send it to the people to watch it so that the ad revenue comes in. I need money. This is my job. Please help me. Help me help you. Okay, here we go. Let's get to the comments and questions here. The Salt Lake City org is dead. Yeah, 100%. TIA's caused some sort of issues with the side of the body. Yes. Yes. I believe it's very hard to get body cam footage in California. Apparently. Too friggin'. Maybe it's easier for him that way. For Heber? Mark's escape was very scary and very fortunate for him that someone saw and called the police. Yeah. I mean, he was almost dead. That's true. It was the cat. Thank you, Azrael. It was the cat from the Smurfs. Okay. I'm not nuts. Thank you. Look at your comment. Oh, no. The title is there. What did you say, Stacy? Hang on. Now I gotta look for your thing. Boop, boop, boop. Have you seen the music video I left the name on Ono America? Oh, yes, I did watch that video. I did. It's hilarious. Yeah. Okay. Oh, no. Here's my shocked face, Amy. Yeah, she's not a fucking nurse, guys. You can call somebody a nurse that just wipes somebody's ass. That's not what nurses do. Thank you very much. I come from a long line of nurses. Don't fuck with them. They rule the world. Okay, moving on. Kathy Fraser is not Mike's ex-wife. Oh, okay. Oh, Kathy Fraser is Jeff's ex-wife. I thought for sure. Okay, now, guys, now you done did it. Now I'm going to look for, please hold. Please hold. My ADHD isn't going to let this one go. Please hold. I found it. Let's get to it. We're going to cover this whole episode later. Okay. This is on Leah's channel. Hi, Lily.
The media is giving them attention, and they're going for that attention. But we personally know, I mean, I slept
in an attempt to seek revenge against the church's leaders. Here's more of my interview with them. I read all of your affidavits. Obviously, your ex-husbands have made charges against David Miscavige, saying that they have seen repeated acts of physical violence perpetrated by Mr. Miscavige. Is any of that true?
No, not one
No.
ounce of it. Not one.
Why do you think they're saying these things?
I think that they are bitter individuals who want
I'm Jenny, and I do Mike's job now, and I'm the biggest bitch in town. Don't mess with me.
had a life that had glory and some form of power, and they now have nothing. They have
Notice how she does admit that they did have power. Everyone just wants to talk about how they talk about their bodies and bullshit. She says right here, they had power.
no job, they have no life, and the media is giving them attention, and
I'm pretty sure all these guys got jobs.
they're going for that attention. But we personally know, I mean, I slept with Tom DeVock for almost 20 years.
Well, goody for you.
I knew every inch of him. If
I mean, she's complimenting Tom here a little bit with the hands.
he ever complained about something, if he had a headache, if he had a backache, he had me
Why is she touching herself? It's so weird.
rub his feet at night. I mean, I was his wife. I never saw one
There's not one Seerg wife on planet Earth that was rubbing someone's feet. This is the biggest load of hogwash I've ever heard.
scratch. I never saw one bruise. I never saw
Guys, everybody did construction work, manual labor at various points. We all got fucking nicked up. That's just bullshit.
one black eye, nothing. Nor did he complain about anything personally. And he would have
You have-
told
you have a
me,
microphone
because
on.
anything that would happen, I would know about. And besides that, that's not the character of Mr. David Miscavige.
That's not the character of the man I'm madly in love with. I mean, the man I work for, David Miscavige.
Nothing like that. It's outrageous that these men are doing that,
It's
and they're bitter,
outrageous.
and they're getting attention from the media.
She is doing the breathless damsel in distress voice just so good. Okay. Next up we have Marty's ex-wife, Mr. Mrs. Rathbun, as we all called her, and she's scary. Like she couldn't even put her hair down for this. Look how pale she is. Look at how pale these women are.
And you were married to Marty Rathbun.
15 years.
15 years. I married to Marty Rathbun.
I know the man better than anybody else. Now, you gotta understand.
Like, she's a pretty lady. Put your hair down. She can't. It would let all the evil out.
Marty Rathbun is a liar, okay? When he left, he's alleging that when he left in 2004, it was because he witnessed Mr. Miscavige beating somebody up or whatever.
Is that why Marty left? I don't think so, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
Right after he left, I'm the first person he called. He called me right away, and it never came up.
But why did he call you, Anne? He wasn't calling you to talk about what fucking David did. He was calling you because he wanted you to leave with him. He wanted you to come with him. You're not going to mention that he asked you to come with him, his wife, and you were like, bitch, bye.
He never mentioned it, okay?
He says that he did mention it to you.
No, he did not. Absolutely not. It's a lie.
Catherine, how about you were married to Jeff Hawkins? Well,
Yes, I was married to Jeff Hawkins during the entire time of these allegations that he said apparently happened. I was
Oh, you guys are right. That's Kathy Fraser. She's sitting next to the other Kathy. It's confusing. I confused them. I'm sorry, Mike. I apologize. It's still a weird way to write it. Like, you could have just said it was Jeff Hawkins' ex-wife still. Anyway, I apologize for getting that wrong, Mike. I know you're listening somewhere. All right. Here's the ladies. We're going to go over this at a later time, guys. We're going to go over that one for sure. There's so many things to dissect, guys. So many things. But I'm trying to go from, the before times to the now times. Okay. So I'll try my best to do it in chronological order, although we just jumped to 2018. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Okay. Stacy says, from now on, you're only allowed to read to us with voices. Well, that is going to be a big ask, but all right. I will do my best. This writer is sounding like Katharine Hepburn. Yeah, a little bit. It was giving Katharine Hepburn. Oh no, this is starting to sound like Mommy Dearest. Tear down that bitch of a wall and put a window where it ought to be. No more wire hangers. Yeah, I loved that movie when I was a kid. For some reason, I watched that on repeat. It's Rhode Islandish. Oh, you're living for the dramatic reading? Thank you, Bunny. Thank you. Yes, Jess. Thank you. Hey, don't bring Grayskull He-Man into this. There are exigent circumstances. Oh, yeah. We got to get Jo in on the readings. She doesn't even have to try to do a voice, just her accent. Just her accent. Where's my thing? Because guys, does anything beat this? Hang on. Let me go back. Can anything possibly beat this?
What the actual fuck am I hearing right now? Fucking kidding me? This is pure undiagnosed.
Why does it keep stopping?
Industrial grade fucking shite. The fuck. I scrape better ideas off my shoe. Jesus suffering Christ. If stupidity had a fucking postcode, this pish would be the fucking capital. Fuck me sideways with a traffic cone. I need a bloody drink.
The fuck me sideways with a traffic cone is my all-time favorite. Okay, let me get to the questions here. My goodness, everyone's in a good mood today. How about if I spell question right? I wonder if it was, we did that one, yeah. Why do I figure that this 1940s, 1960 movie has a lot of overacting? I know, right? Am I related to Charles Dickens? No. No, I am not. But that was fun, guys. That was fun. I try to, you got to keep it, real. Yeah, that is Jo. That is Jo. That is, yeah. That is Jo's voice. I love it. She's bloody brilliant. Yes. She's a legend. She's a legend, y'all. All right, guys, tomorrow, Friday, we're going to carry on with this journey. We're going to keep at this every day. We got a lot of things to cover, a lot of years to cover, a lot of hogwash. Just remember, okay, that when we are, the collective we, okay, all of us out here in this infinity known as the internet. I loved when Heber said that you can find it on the internet. Find me on the internet. Sorry. That was not written by him. Let's be real. There's going to be a lot of noise. Okay, there's going to be a lot of noise, a lot of distractions, a lot of people. What about so-and-so? Right? Okay. I want to reiterate what I've said many times throughout the years, okay? And people get very touchy about the word OSA. OSA. It's the literal Scientology boogeyman, okay? When I am saying that's OSA, or hi OSA, hello. This is the realm of the smoke and mirrors, the distraction, the noisy investigations, the accusations, the circular talk, the controlling and manipulating that we saw in the Mike Wallace interview. Okay? Right? Those things take many forms. Okay? Some, like we're going to see throughout history, are in the form of fully embodied Scientologists, right? Like Heber, like Earl Cooley. Okay. Like Mike Rinder when he was working on the Lisa McPherson shit. We're going to watch that shit too, guys. Okay. And and we have to be careful because it's annoying. It's wrong. And I'm holding myself accountable here. I have more than once jumped on the distraction station, fucking express. Okay. And we have to be careful because our eyes need to be watching where we're actually going, where we're actually headed, which is holding Lafayette Ronald, David Miscavige, and all of the other criminals inside of Scientology and those who have left accountable for their crimes. Okay? You want to see what the cut version looks like, Diana? You want to see what the cut version looks like? I think I have that. Did I take it off my list? Oh, no. Oh, crying in a bucket, Nora. Let's see here. Let's see here. I had it before. Let me look it up the other way. Because there is a cut version that they cut it down to just a few minutes and actually showed some other things that we didn't see in the oh, there's me live. This is very meta. I'll show you guys what I'm seeing. See, there's it's me. It's me, Mario. So many Heber videos, just because he was everywhere in the 80s talking about Scientology. He was fucking everywhere. Let me see if they have it. That's the one we watched yesterday. That's another copy of it. No, they don't have just the shorter one. So much Heber. Yeah, I don't know where it went. I'll have to find it and put a link in the comment section here. And don't worry, we're going to get to Tommy. We're going to get to Tommy. We can't do a whole series in the Wayback Machine without talking about Tommy Davis. Oof. Yeah. No, not that Tommy. Tommy Davis. Yeah, Tom Cruise is gross. I agree. Yeah. But I just want to put a warning out there, guys. There's a lot of noise. A lot of people, you know, demanding accountability for things that have no oh, Angry Gay Pope did it one? Angry Gay Pope did one. Okay. Angry Gay Pope. I don't want his commentary on it. That's the only thing. I mean, if it's just a video where he's, you know, showing the video, I'm totally fine on that.
And outright crimes committed by some church members against what they perceived as enemies of Scientology. In 1980, in fact, several Scientologists went to prison for breaking into the headquarters of the Internal Revenue Service, which had been investigating whether or not the church should be tax exempt. Scientology Update takes another look at the church. For since our first broadcast, several Scientologists and others with inside knowledge have been telling tales about the whys and wherefores of Scientology. Much of what they have to say is critical of the church. Nonetheless, the church continues to attract a large following, millions of believers, according to church estimates. People who genuinely believe that Scientology is their key to salvation.
I found in Scientology a way to improve my ability as a spiritual being.
Given me a whole new outlook on life. I was a drug addict, and I'm not a drug addict anymore.
It all began back in 1950 with the publication of the best-selling book, Dianetics, The Modern Science of Mental Health by L. Ron Hubbard. L. Ron Hubbard, previously a writer of pulp fiction, claimed to have discovered after years of research that man was unable to handle his own problems, that he needed help. Thus was born Scientology, like a religion that says it can reveal to an individual a practical way to find himself, more fully to realize himself. Hubbard, a recluse who hasn't been seen in years, invented something called the E-meter. Church ministers or auditors use the meter to measure an individual's nervous responses, much in the way a lie detector does.
Here we go.
Of the most fanatical followers, adherents of Mr. Hubbard, who you could equate with the
about Scientology. If it's negative, they have chosen not to question themselves. They have chosen not to question, why am I here?
Even Omar Garrison, one time a Scientology sympathizer, has had second thoughts.
I think at the moment that the organization, the cult, is in the hands of the most fanatical followers, adherents of Mr. Hubbard, who you could equate with the followers of Ayatollah Khomeini.
They just got... Scientologists just got put in the same category as followers of the Ayatollah. Okay. Look at the old dull color before I painted it.
Current church leadership is located at Scientology headquarters in Los Angeles. We wanted to know what they had to say. And the
So now you guys can get a good look at Earl Cooley. Look at the props they had behind Earl and fucking Heber. All of the language translations of Dianetics, right? Okay, here we go.
Scientologists, although unhappy with our report in 1980, finally agreed to an interview. But this time, the Scientologists, convinced that we were out to attack their church.
Look at this setup, guys. Look at this setup. Scientology camera, Scientology camera, Scientology camera, and they got one more behind him. Look at the lighting and shit, guys.
Arranged for several of their videotape cameras to be trained on us at all times during
camera wars.
The session. Church president, the Reverend Heber Jentzsch.
Look at the quaff, guys. Look at what they did with the quaff.
Had his attorney Earl Cooley sitting at his side throughout the interview. And almost 100.
Look at the people back here that sat in on this interview. Are they actual Scientologists or were they just people brought in? Anybody recognize anybody?
Scientologists.
Oh, that's this guy. That's Michael Roberts. He's a celebrity. These are SEERG members. That's why they're not seated. But he's a celebrity. Let's see who else we can recognize.
Called in as witnesses.
Scientology is the only road to total freedom. Whether you agree with it or not, that is the truth. And he has outlined a way to do it.
The only...
Look at Heber's glasses, fucking Coke bottle lenses all askew. You know.
Road to total freedom. Really?
It's the only road to total... Mike, that's what I said. The only road to total freedom.
The only road.
I said the only road to total freedom.
Yes.
Yes, to total freedom.
What does that mean? Only road to total freedom.
Oh, there's some word there you don't understand?
I don't understand.
Oh! Heber pulled the oldest Sciento trick in the book. In the fucking motherfucking book, y'all. Is there a word there you didn't fully understand? Is there a word or symbol that you don't know the meaning of? Guys, my microphone is it's gum askew. I'll have to fix that later. Sorry.
The concept. I mean, well, what kind of freedom are we talking about?
Spiritual freedom.
And as
spiritual freedom.
For the founder, L. Ron Hubbard.
I think he's probably one of the greatest men that ever lived. I think that what you see and hear all through this place are recognitions for what he has done in the area of drug rehabilitation, what he has done in the areas of education, the recognition of cities and mayors and governors and so forth and individuals.
This is what they had before they set up the Life exhibition. Okay? So they just brought half the shit that they were going to use in the Life exhibition and put it around them as props.
Individuals whose lives have been changed.
But if Hubbard is a man of enlightenment, he is also a man who appears obsessed with his perceived enemies. Attack the attacker, he writes. If Scientology is attacked on some vulnerable point, always find or manufacture enough threat to cause them to sue for peace. Always attack, don't ever defend.
To cause them to sue for peace. So the end goal, guys, the end goal for Scientology is to make you so mad that you take them to a court of law, where their objective is not to win in a case against you. It's to bleed you dry of money because they have more money than fucking God. They want you to go to court. They want you to pay lawyers bajillions, zillions dollars so you go broke and you have nothing. That's a win for them.
According to former church members, it is writing like that which inspired bizarre plots like the ones against Paulette Cooper and numerous others. But when I put some of that to the Reverend Jentzsch, he accused us of coming to the defense of Scientology's enemies.
We'd say when Pearl Harbor happened, you'd be the first guy going over there to represent the Japanese because he probably bruised his knee when he killed all those Americans. You'd say, oh.
This is what's called a murder routine, kids, where you start bringing up heinous acts, imaginary heinous acts that are so bad that the person will finally confess to the actual crime that they have.
Don't attack the attacker.
Want to
They're
deal
just
with
trying
this?
to wipe you out, you know.
Want to deal with
just
this
a bunch
guy?
of poor Japanese bombing. They probably flew 3,000 miles off course. Mike Wallace, that's great. That's real great rhetoric.
Then the Reverend Jentzsch turned to the scriptures to try to convince us that we were taking things out of context.
The Torah has said, if one comes to kill you, rise up and kill him first. But let's go further. The Torah decreed, if he come to slay thee,
Mike was trying to get it under control there. We saw that from the other angle.
forestall by slaying him. Let's go to Exodus 2, 11, 14. When Moses had grown up, he went out to his kinfolk and witnessed their toil. He saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew. He struck down the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. Now, I can just take it and turn it back to you and say, you're a Jew. How do you respond to this thing? I don't think that's fair. I think that is a despicable activity by anyone to take it out of context. And I can go through the whole Bible and lift it out and make it look just as crazy, just as weird as you're trying to do here with millions and millions of words in print in a religion. And you can take out 2 words or you can take out a sentence and you can somehow try to bring it down to that.
In the course of reporting this story, it became apparent to us that the Reverend Jentzsch is persuaded that 60 Minutes itself is somehow involved with others in a plot to destroy Scientology.
Look at Mike. He cannot, it's just like he cannot believe that he has to deal with these people.
You may not like our religion. You may try to castigate it. You may try to denigrate it. You may try to bring down the image of Mr. Hubbard, but you cannot change what has happened in the hearts and minds of every single Scientologist who has had benefit from this man and what he's.
Be very direct with that quote. You cannot change what has happened in the hearts and minds. He never says that Scientology has actually produced a result. He never says that Scientology delivers what it promises. The hearts and the minds of the adherents, of those enslaved, believe it to be so.
It's done.
And?
We're here. You know, we're here for all the centuries to come. All the centuries to come.
We're here for all the centuries to come. Yeah, with the fucking titanium plates and shit.
After 60 Minutes disappears and the electrons are erased off of the tapes, we'll still be here.
Everyone who has...
Okay, we'll dive into this one later because it's, yeah, we have other 60 Minutes stuff, but we'll go over all of that. Now you guys saw the other angle there. But we have to really listen, guys. This is why we're going over this. Heber says right there, what has happened in the hearts and the minds of believers cannot be changed because it's programmed in, y'all. It's programmed in. Okay. Yeah, no, Aubrey, yes. It's gross. Scientology is anti every other religion. You know. Yes. This is a good comment, Amy, and I'm going to bring that up here. Let's bring that up. There we go. Okay, we're going to go to a site here, guys. As Amy is correctly stating, victims have voices. This is a resource site. There are some survivor stories on here. As more people come forward and say, hey, I want to put my story out there, they can. Everyone is welcome to put your survivor story of you know, what happened to you in Scientology there. There's directions on how to contact the FBI and the Department of Justice, the current legal actions, okay? Law firm information, okay? These two fine ladies right here, Andrews and Thornton, they're here to help. If you want to contact them, you may email or call. There's the number, okay? Andrews and Thornton have come forward to work with survivors on a contingency basis. Just reach out directly to Kimberly or Natalie, these two ladies, at the emails listed below, or you can call, leave them a message, okay? Please reach out. If you survive Scientology and you are still suffering those effects and you want to talk to these lawyers to see if they can litigate that for you and get you some justice, they're here on a contingency basis. What that means is they do not collect any money unless you collect money. Okay. So if Scientology decides I'm going to pay, you know, Nora $100 million, they're going to get some of that. They're going to get some of that cheddar. Okay. So please give them a call. Also, I did not forget. Don't you forget. Okay. Jamie's book is coming out. It's coming out, guys, in 19 days, T-minus 19 days. Get the book. My mods are going to drop the link in the comment there for me because they're the best mods in the business. All right. Jamie's book, get it. Do I need to drop the link, ladies? I got it. I'm on the wrong thing. Copy and paste. Just copy it. There. I didn't scroll down enough, guys. There we go. Paste it. There we go. Okay. And also, there's an event on the 29th, on the day the book drops, at Powell's in Portland, 7 p.m. Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. Be there. All right. Click the link, pre-order. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Donna, for reminding everybody. All right. Get your book. Contact the lawyers. Get your book. Be at the event. All right. And I'll see y'all on the Flippity Dibbity. Thank you, as always, to my mods for keeping this stream right and tight. Thank you for all of you viewing and the truth that we're constantly trying to bring out here on this channel. Please go see my other videos. Click that link for my link tree, and I'll see you next time on the Flippity Dibbity.